Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Transient Pulse by Laura Gintunen. This is the sci-fi post-apocalyptic book. It's self-published from 2021. This is part of my Indie April readathon. It's not really a readathon, but whatever. If you like post-apocalyptic novels, road trips, and people surviving, you'll likely enjoy this fun and fast thriller. So what is it about? Oh my god, my shirt mysteriously changed. That's because I forgot to put the synopsis in my notes, and so now I have to go back and do it again. So, when the nation is hit by a mysterious shockwave, the resulting power outage interrupts the world as we know it. Everything that was powered on at the time of Transient Pulse is destroyed, seizing cities and populations in mass explosions caused by the rippling aftershocks. The lingering darkness severs society in two: those who choose ruinous control, stealing and murdering for provisions, and those who begin to create plans for long-term survival. The latter includes Dixie, a strong yet hesitant young woman living in the heart of Southern California. Dixie is forced to build plans to navigate the country in hopes to find a northern safe zone with Paul, a level-headed survivalist. When Paul goes missing, Dixie must overcome her chronic uncertainty and make the first of many life-or-death decisions. Will Dixie choose to wait for Paul, using up their limited supplies in the delay? Or will Dixie begin the journey on her own, possibly having to turn to the dark side of society to survive? One of the great things about this novel is how Dixie is so incredibly normal. She has a bit of a chip on her shoulder that explains some of the decisions she makes. Most of her self-worth is wrapped up in the need to help people, but she's also not a prepper, not a survivalist, not even a badass, like in the way we think of someone being a badass today. She's just a regular woman who relies on her wits, her resilience, and her bravery to get through kind of extreme situations. In that regard, she's very relatable, and I liked her. The book does not rely on the women needing protection trope either that, sorry to say, a lot of self-published post-apocalyptic fiction seems to have. This is why I don't read that much of it, as much as I love post-apocalyptic stuff. A lot of this genre in particular feels like author insertion stories about how they live in the wasteland and save the day, including winning the hottest girl, in all the land at the end. And that's fine. That's what fiction is for, to let us live other lives. And that's sometimes what writing is for, to let us experience things that we don't really get the chance to. But those particular narratives are not interesting to me, and that's fine. Therefore, it was nice to read a post-apocalyptic thriller focused on a woman who saves her own damn ass. There's also no sexualized violence in this novel, which was great. The novel does have a bit of a this is a series factor to it. There are unanswered questions that I'm assuming carry over into the next book. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, really, but there are definite threads that are not tied up. The novel moves at a blistering pace. It's very short and easy to follow, which was great, but I could have used a bit more kind of hours on the road moments to really hammer home how long the journey is, to really kind of create that bond between Bree and Dixie that didn't really feel as strong as it could have been. They're driving from California to Canada, presumably BC, but we only get the woods and a few moments on the highway. I wouldn't have minded a few more kind of pit stops along the route. When we get action scenes, though, they are snappy and fun. The book is great because it does balance quite well between kind of action and non-action scenes. What caused the apocalypse was described in kind of a very mimetic way. Dixie is as without a clue as we are as to what caused the EMP that fried all the technology. Was it people-made or caused by something like a solar flare? Was it by aliens? We have no idea. As to whether the EMP would actually behave as she suggested it would, I honestly don't know. I added an article below in the description about how cars would be impacted if you're curious about EMPs. One thing I will say, and I hate to say this, but the prose could have used a little bit of tightening. There was a lot of telling and not showing, as well as a lot of passive voice. Yet this could just be my editor brain picking up on it. It is a curse. So if that's not something you'd notice as a reader, you probably will find this book super fun and entertaining. I mean, I found it super fun and entertaining still. If anything, it's a really fast read. It's a quick read. It's got some, harrowing moments, but nothing too disturbing. And there's also a dog named Crater, which I thought was amazing. So yeah, if you want like a quick, fun, post-apocalyptic kind of thriller, I definitely recommend you check out Transient Pulse. It's really fun, and it was a great kind of addition to my Indie April. So yeah.